Well, in this lecture, I try to focus on the statistical analysis of selected banking stocks listed in NSE. You know, before investing in a stock, you have to check the health of the stock, and this can be done by using the statistical tools, and and here in this lecture I have used several tools, statistical tools for analyzing the some stocks of banking stocks listed in NSE. And there are some objectives, and on that basis I proceed. Look, the main objective of the present study is to make a comparative appraisal of stock prices of the 5 selected financial sector banks with following specific objectives: and to study the characteristics of stock prices of selected banks by using descriptive statistics, and to analyze monthly fluctuations in the stock prices using simple moving average method, to study the price movements in the selected stocks using money flow index, to study the current trend and strength of the 5 stocks using relative strength index, and to examine the risks and volatility associated with stocks prices using beta index, to examine Jansen alpha, Sharpe ratio, Traynor ratio of the selected stocks. Okay, before before going into deep, we are focusing on the descriptive statistics of the 5 stocks with market. Look at this. The mean of SBI is 374 and HDFC 1310. And in this way, if you consider the mean of the 5 stocks, then you can find the mean of the Kotak Mahindra is high. There is 1619, and the next is the 1310 of HDFC. And in this section, I like to mention one thing is that the data have been collected from the official website, and the range of the data is 5 years, and it is monthly data, and from 2018 to 2023 up to 2023. So now the median. Now look at the median. The median of the 5 stocks, that is here, the median and mean mostly the same. And so on that basis, you can have a little understanding that it is near about normally distributed, and the maximum value of the SBI is 163 and minimum value is 161. In this way, the other 5 stocks data of maximum and minimum value are given, and the maximum is for Kotak Mahindra, it is 2013, and by using the median, maximum and minimum, we can understand that there is no falling tendency in the closing price of the stocks, and because here the median and maximum value is just about 2 times, and if it is more than 4 or 5, or you can have the 8 times, then we can say there is a declining tendency. But here we have not found a declining tendency on the basis of the median, maximum, and minimum of the series. Now look at the skewness. Skewness is very low, and it is 0.18 for SBI, and minus 0.12 is HDFC, and 0.30 for ICICI, and X for Axis Bank, so minus 0.58. For Kotak Mahindra, it is minus 0.30. And so it is very low for all these stocks. Now, you should consider the kurtosis. Look here is the kurtosis. Kurtosis 1.84, and for SBI and HDFC for 1.72, and for ICICI 1.79, and for Axis Bank it is 3, and for Kotak Mahindra it is 1.84, and only for Axis it is mesokurtic. Mesokurtic means normally distributed. Otherwise the other four stocks have platykurtic. Platykurtic, that is the tail is not very fatty, tail is not very flatty, and this type of situation, or you can say the kurtosis, the platykurtic situations is healthy for the investor, and because the volatility of the stocks actually checked by the kurtosis the overall volatility of a stock. The overall volatility of the stock, that is the SVI, if you consider the closing price, then it is stable. It is stable as the kurtosis is the value of the kurtosis is less than 3, and for HDFC the value of the kurtosis is also less than 3, and ICICI is also less than 3, and for Kotak Mahindra is also less than 3. So these stocks actually, the kurtosis of the stocks actually shows the data is very stable. The closing price is stable, and volatility, there is no such volatility. And now there is a Jarkavara and probability. And if you consider the Jarkavara probability, all the values, that is for SBI, HDFC, ICICI, Axis Bank, and Kotak Mahindra, they are normally distributed. Okay, as we cannot reject the null hypothesis. That is, here the null hypothesis is the series is normally distributed. Now, if you consider the Nifty 50, then we have the same thing. Look at the median of the Nifty 50, 13301, and maximum is 187858. So there is no declining tendency, and but if you consider the Jarkavara, then you can find that the series is not normally distributed over the study period. Okay, so now this is the descriptive statistics, and we can have a little more understanding about the health of the 5 stocks. Now this is the declining percentage of the 5 banking stocks. On the basis of the maximum and minimum values of the stocks, we have this percentage of decline, and here the maximum is for the SBI, that is 73.70, and minimum is for Kotak Mahindra, that is 44.90. And so if you consider this slide, then we can prefer the Kotak Mahindra, because the percentage of decline is very low in compared to other stocks. Now there is coefficient of variation. The importance of the coefficient of variation, and because the coefficient of variation actually the standard deviation with respect to the mean, and if you try to compare among the stocks, then coefficient of variation is very important. And on the basis of the coefficient of variation, the very low coefficient of variation is for Kotak Mahindra Bank Limited, and the maximum is for ICICI Bank. So if you consider this slide, the coefficient of variation, then the investor should prefer the Kotak Mahindra Bank Limited. Okay, so now the next slide is the time plot. If you consider this time plot, then time plot of SBI and HDFC Bank, there is an upward tendency of the series, and also for HDFC Bank there is an upward tendency of the series. But For the first quarter and second quarter of 2020, there is a declining, sharp decline. And in 2020, first and second quarter in between, there is a sharp decline. Okay, sharp decline. We have this. And now you consider the other two stocks, ICICI Bank plot, time plot, and Axis Bank time plot. And you know the same things here. There is upward rising tendency, and here also upward rising tendency. But in 2020, first and second quarter, there is a sharp decline. And also for in 2020, first and second quarter, there is a sharp decline. Okay, now in the next slide, you have the Kotak Mahindra and the market. In the Kotak Mahindra, there is a upward rising tendency of the series, and for Nifty 50, the market also the upward rising in the series. But there is also a sharp decline in the first and second quarter in 2020. In case of Kotak Mahindra, also for Nifty 50, there is a sharp decline. So as the market, you see there in the market there is a sharp decline. So it is not related to the market. It is related to the systematic risk that cannot be diversified. So something happened. You know, the coronavirus, the impact of the coronavirus we can see here. Okay, now look at this. This is the QQ plot of the SBI return and the HDFC return, and all the points near about along the red line, red straight line, and here also the same things we can have. So the return of the SBI and the HDFC is normally distributed. We can say now the same thing you can have for the ICICI Bank and the Axis Bank. Okay, for the ICICI Bank and Axis Bank. Now there is QQ plot of Kotak Mahindra. The dotted points is along the red line here, and also for the market. So also for the market. So returns of the market and as well as the Kotak Mahindra have the normally distributed series. Okay, normally distributed series. Now look at the box plot. And the box plot, you can have the understanding that the median is the bottom part of the box, and here median is the upper part of the box, and here the median is the lower part of the box. And in the next slide, you can have also the median is the upper part of the box, and median is the upper part of the box for Kotak Mahindra, and for Nifty, median is the lower part of the box. And if you consider the 5 stocks, then Axis Bank, Kotak Mahindra, and Kotak Mahindra, Axis Bank, Kotak Mahindra, and HDFC, all these three stocks have actually the left skewed, and as a result, and you know the left skewed, it means that the very few frequent gains are there, small gains are there, but very few extreme losses are there. Very few extreme losses are there. Okay, in this case. But if you consider the SBI, ICICI, these two stocks, then you can find that these are right skewed. The distributions are right skewed, and as a result, you have the there is a very few frequent losses are there. But extreme gains are very few. Okay, so now in case of this, the covariance of correlation of 5 banking stocks. the correlation is a nothing but the standardized covariance, and 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 correlation among the stocks is very important for understanding. If they are highly correlated, then we should not consider both stocks. And if you consider the ICICI and SBI, then you find that the 0.94 correlation coefficient 0.9 was very high, and near about all these stocks are closely related with each other. So if you consider Kotak Mahindra and HDFC, then 0.91, they are highly correlated. So so from these stocks we can have an understanding that we cannot select all the stocks because they are highly correlated. Now this is the T statistics and with the probability. And that T statistics is nothing but the ratio between the signal and the noise. And the signal is the difference between the mean return of the two stocks with respect to the standard deviation. And from it is all the T statistics are statistically significant. So it means that the mean return for the stocks are different. So HDFC return is different from SBI return over the study period. The same way, the Kotak Mahindra return with the SBI return is there is a difference, okay, over the study period. This is the understanding of the from this table. Now there is a beta of the 5 banking stocks, and the beta is nothing. Beta is the systematic risk, and if beta is greater than 1, then the stocks are aggressive, and if it is less than 1, then stocks are defensive. And only the Kotak Mahindra is the defensive stocks, as the beta value 0.93. All these stocks have the beta value greater than 1. You can see here, and so these stocks are aggressive stocks, more volatile stocks. Okay, more volatile stocks. So investors should not prefer these 4 stocks. That is the State Bank of India, ICICI, HDFC Bank, and Axis Bank. And the investor can prefer Kotak Mahindra on the basis of the beta. Now this is the SBI closing price and simple moving average. And if you look, there is a simple moving average. There's a green line. There is an upward tendency. It is good. And also the SBI closing price, that is the blue line, is above this line. It is also good. Okay, so monthly fluctuation we can have from this simple moving average, as I have mentioned. Now, if you consider this figure, that is ICICI Bank, the same thing you can have. The blue line is below the closing price, that is the closing price. Blue line is the simple moving average, and there is upward tendency. Now upward tendency or trend. The same thing here also. The simple moving average is below the Axis Bank closing price, and there is a upward trend. So now this is the HDFC Bank stock. The same thing we have, what I have mentioned in the other cases. Okay, so now this is the Kotak Mahindra, and the upward tendency. There is upward tendency, and closing price is above the simple moving average. Okay, so now we have the relative strength index, and from between the SBI and the ICICI, of the SBI and ICICI, and you can see the RSI for SBI is the red line, and here the 70 and 30 is the limit, the 70 and 30. You can have the for if you consider the SBI, then it is at the end of the period, it is oversold. But if you consider the RSI of the ICICI Bank at the end of the period, it is overbought. Okay, it is overbought. Otherwise, both the series are the sometimes it is oversold, sometimes it is overbought. Okay, under the study period. Now there is another slide, and in this slide you can have the same thing. And if you consider the last period, then there is a oversold for Axis Bank and overbought for HDFC. Otherwise, if you consider the blue line, that is the HDFC, then it is oversold for some period and up to this period. Okay, look at my cursor at this period, and from this period it is also oversold, overbought, and this is also overbought, and here it is oversold. Okay, here it is oversold. Now if you consider this stock, okay, the RSI and RSI of the quarter, it is near about overbought all the period under the study, but at the end of the period it is oversold. It is oversold. And now look at this. Now look at this, the money flow index. You know the money flow index very important, and it is RSI, but here the volatility is considered. And on the basis of the money flow index, we consider the Kotak Mahindra. Kotak Mahindra money flow is very neutral. And you know the above, if the range is 0 to 100, and all the if it is less than 20 money flow index, then there is a declining tendency. But here we do not have, and it is more than 80, then the price is upward rising. And also we do not have this type of situation. The situation is moderate, and for Kotak Mahindra situation, the money flow index is good. Okay, money flow index is good. Now this is the security, this is the alpha, Sharpe index, and Traynor index. Now you know if alpha is the positive value, then we can have the stocks is good, and it's not underperforming. It is good performing, and here the alpha value is very negligible, But if you consider this alpha value also, then ICICI Bank, Axis Bank's alpha is good, and 0.016, and though all the values are negligible. And on the basis of the Sharpe index is represented by the ratio of the security premium and the total risk. So here the rank of the ICICI Bank is 1, and next is the State Bank of India. So investor will prefer ICICI Bank Limited on the basis of the Sharpe index, and on the basis of the Traynor index, it is also the ICICI Bank Limited, because Traynor index is the ratio between the security premium and the systematic risk. And the next is the 0.2, 0.14, that is the State Bank of India, the State Bank of India. So this is the understanding on the basis of the Sharpe index and the Traynor index, and on the basis of the Jansen alpha, Sharpe index, and Traynor index, ICICI Bank should be preferred by the investors.